Between now and November 1st, 2023, it is the best time to use Generative Fill. It is unlimited for current subscribers and you can use it commercially. But what happens after that? Let's find out in this video. So what is happening? Adobe Firefly powered generative AI tools like Generative Fill, Generative Recolor, text effects, and all of those tools are now out of beta, which means you can use it commercially and they're available in the general version of Photoshop. So all you need to do is to just update your regular version of Photoshop. Yes, there is a beta version still available for future features and testing new stuff, but it is now available in the regular general version of Photoshop, version 25 to be precise. To check the version of Photoshop you're using, just go to Help and About Photoshop. As you can see, I'm using version 25, so once you update to 25 or above, you will start to see Generative Fill. As in this example, let's say I want to remove this distraction right here. Just make a selection around it and you will start seeing Generative Fill. If you don't see it, go to Window and make sure Contextual Taskbar is selected. Once it is turned on, you can click on Generative Fill. It will ask you to agree to a few things. Just agree to it. Click on Generate again and it should be gone. And there you go. It is gone. So here's the before, here's the after, and again, it gives you 3 options right here. Now, why is it not unlimited anymore? Let's understand how this works. Every time you press the Generate button or use something like Generative Expand, let's generate again, there is some computer power being used on Adobe's end. By the way, here's the before, here's the after. Fantastic. None of this is happening locally because generative AI requires you to have extremely powerful machines. Therefore, it is impossible to keep it unlimited because it uses computer power in the cloud. Now, the big question is, how much is this going to cost you? You're already probably paying for Photoshop unless you're using a Captain Jack Sparrow version, or you're paying for Creative Cloud all apps. Do you have to pay extra for this? Let's explore it. Like many other generative AI platforms like DALL-E, you will now have credits, or in Adobe's language, generative credits. Think of it like points. Every single time you use one of these generative AI features, it will cost you some of these points, or in other words, credits. Every time you use something like Generative Fill in Photoshop, or Generative Recolor in Adobe Illustrator, or text effects in Adobe Firefly, it will cost you these credits. But how do you get these credits? Depending upon the Adobe plan you're on, you'll get a set number of credits each month. For example, let's say you are on Creative Cloud All Apps plan, so monthly you'll get 1,000 credits. If you are on Creative Cloud Single App and it's just Lightroom, you'll get 100. If you're using single app like Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects, etc., you'll have 500. You have the entire chart in Adobe's website. I'll link it up in the description. Now, these credits are not just limited to subscribing to creative applications. You can have an Adobe stock plan and get some credits. There are different Adobe plans, and for different stuff, you have different amount of credits, so you can check the list. And also, if you are a free user with an Adobe ID, you also get credits. Let's say you use things like Adobe Express or Adobe Firefly, you still get 25 credits per month. Now, very important information, unused credits will not roll over to the next month. Each month it will reset. And again, whatever I said up to this point is subject to change according to Adobe's website. Now, you get a set number of credits like 25, 100, 500, 1,000, but what do these numbers actually mean and how many credits is it actually going to cost according to how you use it? Before we talk about that, I have something exciting for you that is absolutely free. I'm doing a virtual session at Adobe MAX, their biggest creative conference. We'll talk about how you can use these AI tools to your advantage, create way better results in much less time, and grow your creative business. We'll talk about 5 evergreen strategies to actually use these new tools in your actual professional workflow, thus future-proofing your craft. I'd love to have you there live. You can join in for the session by clicking the link in the description. Now, coming to the question, how much credits will it cost? The amount of credits consumed will depend upon the computer power it takes to use that particular feature. For example, right now Adobe's website says it's going to cost 1 credit every time you use Generative Fill, Generative Expand, and all of these features, and it will keep on adding to it as new features introduce. And also, in the future, Adobe does plan to offer higher resolution generations, animation, video, 3D, and other generative AI features, and those can cost more credits per generation. Now, what happens once your credits are over? To be honest, I feel like a banker right now. Anyway, do keep in mind credits reset every month. If you're a Creative Cloud or Adobe Stock subscriber, let's say you're using Generative Fill in Photoshop or Generative Recolor in Adobe Illustrator, once the credits are over, you can still use these features, it's just that it will be slower. However, if you're an Adobe Express or Adobe Firefly paid user and your credits are over, you can still do 2 generations of standard images or vector generations per day. So 2 generations per day of the standard stuff. Now let's say you're a power user. Can you buy additional credits? Well, at the moment, it may not be available. By the time you're watching this video, it may be available. So Adobe does plan to introduce a subscription plan starting at $499 a month, where you will get $100 additional credits per month. So it's $499, that's where it starts from, and it may introduce some other plans in the future, but yes, you can kind of do that. You will be able to do that in the future. Also, if you open the main page of Adobe Firefly right now, if you scroll down, you will notice that you have a plan of $499 per month, which will give you 100 monthly generative credits. Now, let me remind you again, until November 1, 2023, you don't have to worry about credits if you are a current subscriber of any of this stuff right here. Coming to some ethical questions, I really appreciate that Adobe created this AI using their own Adobe Stock content. Now, keeping that in mind, will Adobe Stock contributors, the people who contributed assets to Adobe Stock, whose images were used to build this AI, will they be compensated? Yes, Adobe's doing a bonus thing and they plan to pay it annually. How much you'll get paid, how will this thing happen? It is all mentioned in very much detail in Adobe's website. I'll also link it up in the description if you're an Adobe Stock contributor. Any document where you have used generative AI, it will be tagged as such. For example, in this image, we just used generative AI. If I go to File, Export, Export As, automatically, if I scroll down right here, it's processing right now. Let's give it a little while. There you go. Content credentials will be applied because it is made with generative AI. So even if I export it as a JPEG with a lower quality, let me do that. If I open this file again, you'll notice that if we go to Window and then Content Credentials, let's enable it, let's preview, you will see that it tells you that AI has been used in this and Adobe Firefly AI model was used, but it's not foolproof. Let's say I press Ctrl or Command A, Ctrl or Command C for copy. Let's go to File, New, create a brand new document. Let's click on Create and paste it, Ctrl V. There you go. You can just merge the layers, it's up to you. Now when you look at Content Credentials, let's open that up, let's enable it, let's preview. Well, it does not detect whether AI was used in it or not. And if you want to learn the various applications of Generative Fill, like putting me with Taylor Swift, you can watch this video right here. I hope this video was full of necessary information you needed, and if it helped you, make sure to give us a like, and also don't forget to subscribe, and not just subscribe. Ring the bell so that you, my friend, don't miss any other feature tips, tricks, or tutorials. I would like to take this moment to thank all of these nice and amazing people for supporting PiXimperfect on Patreon and helping keep PiXimperfect free for everybody forever, unlike Generative Fill. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Till then, stay tuned and make sure that you keep creating.
We're up here on cloud 9.